All right, folks, I am not here to beat a dead horse, but you know, every time somebody says that, you know what's coming. Okay, Buffs fans, so Cormani McClain, the saga with Cormani McClain, why are we just leaving this alone? Why is this such huge news? Why does anybody care? I mean, once, last year happened and we lost, a significant amount of people to the second portal. Actually, we lost them in the first and the second portal. It was a bit of a shocker for a lot of people because we hadn't seen that kind of exodus happen here at Colorado before. And so this year coming into it, we're tempered to it, and it's not as big a portal change as we had last year. You don't see as much drama coming out of it. But then you have somebody like Cormani McClain pop in there, and 50% of us will say we're really surprised that Cormani entered the portal, and there's 50% of us that say, we saw this coming from a mile away just due to all of the clues that we had along the way. And I was going to leave it alone. And the reason why is because I like Cormani McClain. In fact, I'm going to go through this really quick, and the reasons why this is a big deal to me and why it may be a big deal to some pretty hardcore Buffs fans that have been out there for a long time. First of all, Cormani came out. What really spawned this video is Cormani came out and put a video on his channel. And it's getting a lot of buzz. Really, the buzzy part of it was only a few minutes long. The rest of it was just him working out in his apartment in Boulder. So there isn't a lot of content there, but it is very striking that he basically shot right across the bow of Colorado football. And specifically, he didn't mention Coach Prime, but it felt that way. So we'll go into that a little bit later. But first, I want to bring you up to speed on the sting of this whole Cormani McClain thing. Being a Colorado Buffs fan since 1978, there's been a lot of highs and lows. I don't remember a ton of it when I was a small child. I started watching Colorado football when I was 6 years old. Family, my dad was a big Colorado Buffs fan. It wasn't until probably the early 80s, I'm going to say 83, when I really remember a lot was going on. And those were the tumultuous years. That was when we were growing. And we had Coach Mack in place, and things were getting better. They weren't great, but things were getting better. And we fielded great teams. We had a national championship and went for a great run in the 90s, right? Then in the early 2000s, that's when things started to shake up a little bit. And, at that point, blue chip recruits were becoming a thing, and, we weren't really to the STAR program yet. We had two really big blue chip recruits that came out of the early 2000s in the name of Marcus Houston and Derrick Scott. And those were really big for us because at the beginning of it, we were trying to build the team past the team of the 90s, trying to get back to that point, which we did in some respect. And then towards the late 2000s, early 2000s, 2008, we were coming off some of the worst years that CU football had in a long time. So having, Derrick Scott come in and be a potential huge recruit for us was a big deal. Now, both of these guys that I just mentioned, neither one of them worked out for the University of Colorado as expected. And most of it was due to injuries. They were both plagued by injuries and didn't end up staying at the University of Colorado for too much longer after that. And respectively, both of those were running backs, and respectively, the first one was replaced by Chris Brown, CU legend, and the second one was replaced by Rodney Stewart, CU legend. So really just maybe bad timing on their part. It never really seemed that our blue chip recruits were really working out the way we wanted to. And then we had this really long stretch after that in the 2010s where there wasn't a lot going on from that angle. We weren't pulling 5-star recruits in here. And then all of a sudden Coach Prime comes, and all of a sudden we start talking about 5-star recruits again. Obviously Travis Hunter, and I'm talking about recruits now, Travis Hunter came to us as a transfer. But as recruits are concerned, we got Cormani McClain, what seemed like kind of out of nowhere, because at first we thought he was going to Florida, and then he was a deadlock cinch for Miami, and then bang, just like that, he came to Colorado. And all of a sudden, holy crap, we're back in the 5-star recruit business. And not only is it a 5-star recruit, but it's like the number 1 DB in the country and the number 13 player in the country. Like, it is the 5-star recruit that came out of that whole year, came to Colorado. And it was just like, man, we got a brand new all-star coach. And then we got our first 5-star in forever. And all of a sudden it's like, holy mackerel, we're ready to go, right? That was a really long time from when that was announced until we saw Cormani. It was over 6 months, or right around 6 months. And everybody was expecting him to come in during the summer workouts. And we didn't see him. All of a sudden taglines came up, where's Cormani? Where's Cormani? I was following it probably as closely as anybody was, because I was so excited about a 5-star recruit coming to Colorado. You know, he came, he got an apartment, he started working out at his apartment, started posting videos there. Seemed a little bit odd that he wasn't showing videos of him working out with the team. And, you know, there were some other things that were going on at the time too. And then, you know, that was kind of an odd 45 days there. And then season started and we didn't see him playing. We didn't see him play. And there was lots of conjecture after the games about where was he, and there were things being leaked out about his work ethic and missing meetings. And, you know, there was just so many things that were coming out. We were like, what is going on here? You know, it's been this long lead up to our golden child 5-star coming in that to see nothing was a little bit, well, let's just say it was puzzling. Then he finally started playing, but it you know, and in spots, in like single plays, looked like a genius. But overall, we're talking about his total output, I think, was like 13 tackles and 2 passes defended throughout the entire year. So we can call this one didn't meet expectations. I think that's said, just didn't, as a fan, my expectation would be that he would have been a bigger part of the team, and he wasn't. So that was very disappointing to me. Now, that said, after the season, and there's, you know, where's Cormani? And then all of a sudden he shows up again. It looks like he's getting back into the flow and people are talking like we're healing and we're getting better, and then goes missing again during spring and then pops up in the portal. And now here we are. Here we are. Okay, here we are. Everybody's like, goodbye, you know, good luck to you. You know, hopefully you mature. You know, I've been in, I don't know, a million chats during that time period. And everybody, very few people want to throw him under the bus. And almost everybody wants him to grow and mature and become the 5-star prospect that he was coming in. Be that guy. Now, that said, then out of nowhere, he posts a video and he talks about Colorado football in a specific light. And some of the points that he made on there was, somebody asked him a question about the things that he is looking forward to going forward. And he said, changing the narrative and being with a real program. Now, I don't know why you would say that. You know, you still have Coach Prime, even though there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, maybe it's just that there's so much leaked out from high school coaches and Under Armour All-American coaches and staff members when he played in that game, and Coach Prime and these other folks that are talking about him, that there's not a lot of positive things that came out of this last year and a half, that maybe he just wanted to take a shot. I don't know. But it seems to me like if you have Coach Prime even marginally on your side, you might want to leave it there. But we're not there now. We're already past that point with this video. He also said it isn't because of his studies, that he wanted to make sure that people understood that he's an A and a B student. So he's involved in school, and it's not a grade thing. And so that makes me feel a lot better, because I saw a lot of comments and a lot of people, a lot of conjecture out there that maybe he wasn't keeping up with the studies. And University of Colorado, albeit a public school, is not it's no slouch when it comes to academics. Another question they asked is, you know, what kind of message are you going to be sending to your next school? And he says, you're going to get a dog. Okay. So obviously, if you look at Cormani saying this is probably the one video that I saw of Cormani through this entire program where he looked like he was owning it. And in this particular case, he said, you're getting a dog. To me, it looks like he's owning it. Like he's saying, my mentality is changing and I'm going to give you everything I have. Maybe that's what he was trying to put out there. And I hope that's the case. And then he said something crazy. He said that he doesn't want to play for clicks. That to me was a little bit stunning, but to pull a tagline out of something that was kind of a fire starter for us in the middle of the season, seems to be a little crazy to me. But that seems to be kind of the point of this video. Is I think it was just a small little jab at Colorado, not knowing that maybe it came off looking a little bit bad for him. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. That said, he was also in a green hoodie. So I don't know if he's trying to send a message to Oregon. I don't know. I hear that USC is probably up high on the list, and Lincoln Riley thinks that maybe he can take Cormani and make him the 5-star recruit that he was coming out of high school. And if that's the case, then great. I'm a Lincoln Riley fan. I think if there's a coach that could probably do that, I think Lincoln Riley could be one of those coaches. So, that said, why do I care? Why does anybody care? Why do I care? This is kind of where I'm sitting on this. I think Cormani McClain is a defensive back genius as far as it comes to his skill, his talent. I think that his frame is built for this. He seems like he has the speed. He has a lot of the instincts that you would think a young, great defensive back would have before they started getting coached and mentored by college coaches and even NFL coaches for that matter. But it seems to me that there's a discipline that goes along with great players that has to be there in order for the talent to even show. You have to have the discipline to understand the playbook. You have to have the discipline to understand your teammates and be part of the team. You have to have their back. You have to build a trust with the coaches, with the media, with your fans, with the university, in order to build that legacy to the point where when you go to the NFL draft, there is just no denying that you're not going to be a bust, that they're not going to write a fat check for you and you're not going to show up for practice on day one. I mean, it's a long haul. It's a lot of work, even for shy guys or people that aren't really good in the limelight or maybe not great, conversation carriers. There's still a way to go about that, and he will learn that, and I think he will. So my take of this is that I think he's going to be fine. I think that, unfortunately, Colorado was the program that he had to go to learn a lesson, but I think he learned it. He just isn't, I don't think, vocalizing it right now. But I think by the end of his college career, I think that we will see him on the plus side and he will get drafted. I'm just going to say that because he's just got such great talent, and it seems like he's a really good guy. He just needs to have a wake-up call somewhere, and hopefully this was it. So if Colorado can be Cormani McClain's wake-up call, then maybe it wasn't a waste of time after all. We're all going to be the better for it. Now, the good news is, okay, after all that talk about 5 stars at Colorado, we got Jordan Seaton this year. And here we have the 5-star prospect that I'm talking about comes in early. Okay, so he gets here a semester early. He is everywhere. He's in every video. He's shaking hands. He's with the coaches. He's with the media. He's just being a true Colorado representative. You see him in practices. He's showing up. He is being a leader among leaders. And he's still supposed to be in high school, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. This is awesome. I cannot wait to see Jordan Seaton out there on the field and see what he can do. And and that's all I have to say about it, guys. Please leave your comments down below. This was not at all a slight on Cormani, but at this point, you gotta, I want to talk about it because of the legacy of Colorado football and the fact that we are going in the right direction right now. And it's just too bad that he can't be part of the team, but I know he's going to be all right. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. Please subscribe, be a part of our team, and we will see you in the next video. If you haven't already heard, we here.